good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another Game Maker tutorial. Well, this is actually a pixel art tutorial, not a Game Maker tutorial. So I had some requests for different pixel art tutorials, and one of the ones that was requested was how to do metal armor on a small canvas at around 64 by 64. And I am not 100% sure how to pronounce this name, but I'm going to guess it's Zynon Zach May, and that's who requested it. So I'm going to try and help you there and see if we can get something that is smaller that looks like metal armor. I'm just going to do a character with a gun that's wearing all metal armor, and hopefully this will be useful for some of you. You can learn something about maybe doing metal in pixel art and how you can get it to look more like metal. So for starters, I'm gonna grab, let's see, what am I do? I'm gonna do a red color, and we're gonna want to lower the saturation quite a bit on this red color and make it really dark. Kind of like this. It's kind of a ugly color, honestly, but that's okay. And I'm gonna get a slightly larger size for the brush. And the reason I'm doing this in Game Maker instead of graphic scale is because I like graphic scale for animating, but I still really enjoy Game Maker for just normal pixel art before I separate things out into layers. So let's think about how we can set this up here. We'll want to have our character, we'll have the character's head, something like this. And then from there, he'll probably have a shoulder plate of some sort. And then you'll see the shoulder plate come on the other side a little bit. I always switch mine to replace so I can use control and grab the background and use that as an eraser basically. We'll have a chest piece as well. Let's make this. So we've got this chest piece right here. And we'll come down and we'll have something to protect the groin right there. And then we'll probably have, let's see, something like this. Let's select this and move it over a little bit. If you hold shift, you can continue to select. Let's move that right there. Then we're going to come down and we're going to, let's have this kind of set back a little bit. Oops, that is way more than I wanted. And come forwards. Not exactly sure how that's going to work yet. I'm going to have this come. This will be. I'm trying to keep things separate for now, separated so that it's easier to tell what's what later. We'll probably connect them. The arm coming up right here. I'll use a little bit of foreshortening on that. And then we'll have the arm coming across here. I'm going to lighten my color so I can tell that this is in front of the other stuff. And I'm going to grab a gray color for the gun. Let's try and think of where I want this to come off. Here maybe. Something like that. I'm kind of making some of this up as I go still, so. I want to clean some of these up a bit. He's not really in very much of an action pose, and it just doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to pull this forward a little bit, and this back like this. So it looks more like an action pose just a bit. Like that. We actually need to pull his arm back a little bit more still. Let's give him a visor. Just drag these. See, is it pen? I don't remember the shortcut for. Is it D for draw? Oh yeah, it's D for draw. Okay. Trying to remember some shortcuts here. Let's come back a little bit. It's too far. I need to quit putting detail in this for a second till I get the position right. So let's put this to a 2. That's looking better. Until you get some of this right, you don't want to add too much detail to it at first. You can start connecting stuff now a little bit. I'm going to use For now I'm going to use black, but we'll probably end up changing this later, just to connect all of our elements together. Make the chest plate bigger here. Cut some back off the shoulders. Okay, that's starting to look better. So let's start to make this look a little bit more like metal. So a few things we can start doing is we can start layering this. I want to change the gun though so it stands out a bit more. Might be a bit too much. And that's what it was at before. And okay, I'm just cleaning up some of this a little bit right now. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add edges to all of our armor. So let's get a darker color here. And think about lighting. Let's say our lighting's coming from, well, let's make a lighting actually. Lighting's coming from here. And this arrow is to help remind us where the lighting's coming from. So we're going to want darker colors on this side of the armor, and it's going to be way darker than that. Over here, still darker, dang. Like this. I'm going to double layer our shoulder plate, so I'm going to add another thing right there. just because that'll make it look cool. We'll want to shade basically the whole side of this face right here. Not really like those things, I'll take them out for now. Probably actually have a little bit of shading here because the top of the helmet's going to come shade a little bit of that shoulder. Let's add, now that we're actually adding some shading in here, this basically almost this whole arm is going to be dark right here from the lighting. This should pop up a little bit right there. This is going to be dark, these edges here. This is going to be dark, most of this actually. And we can make this the right color now because we've got our shading in to help distinguish it a bit. This whole half of the, well, a lot of this is going to be dark too right here. Because the gun's going to cover up some of it. A lot of this whole half of the body is going to be dark, not just on the armor. This section on this is going to be dark. Now don't pay any mind to the proportions on this because these proportions are way out of whack. These legs are too small. It's just not super great proportions here, but I don't have time to sit and fiddle with the proportions to get them perfect because the point of this is to kind of show you how you can do get something to look like metal-like texture. Character's also a little off balance. I'll probably fix some of the proportions still. Just by trimming down some of this stuff a bit. This won't fix them a ton, but okay. So one of the things that you need to know about metal is that what makes metal look more like metal instead of just like something that's not metal is the reflections. So metal reflects all over the freaking place. So let's get a lighter tone here, and I'm going to drag this into the orange because we'll pretend that our light is an orange color. And let's start adding in some highlights on this character. And not sure I like this color, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave it for now. So we'll add some highlights here. Some here on the other arm. I'm going to add a little bit of a reflection highlight on the bottom of those. I'll show you guys what I mean in just a minute here. I really don't like this color. It's too much. Okay, I need to see this zoomed all the way out. We're not doing too bad yet. Okay, so let's grab our darker color. And add in some values like this. Pull in some lighter values over here. Even highlight the back of that. That's too much, but I'm gonna highlight this probably, maybe even with the lighter color. So this is part of what makes metal so strange, is that it reflects all over the place. So a lot of the time, let me see if I can, if you've got like a cylinder, right? Like this, let's pretend this is a cylinder. Okay. And we've got a top to this cylinder right here. Okay, there's our top. And the light's coming from the same direction. We'll probably have a giant bright streak right here. But because of the way the metal works, we may also have a light streak down this side. And then we'll have some kind of a middle tone right here probably. And we might also have a little bit of the middle tone right here. And you get kind of this crazy these crazy reflections. There's light that bounces off something over here and hits the metal from this side, but you still got your shadow here, you know, and so you can still see the shadow there. That's why it's darker here. There's still shadow. This is still the brighter side, but you may also have light that's kind of bouncing off the floor a little bit and coming back up, and gives you kind of a outline around this bottom edge. I mean, metal just has light. It just reflects really easily. So, you know, if there's a lighter object somewhere over here, right here, that light is going to be bouncing off this lighter object and hitting our guy from this side. And so that creates these highlights in places where you normally wouldn't have light. But because of the way metal reflects stuff so well, you get that extra light on it. And that's part of why metal, people think it's tricky to draw, is because, and I'm not perfect, but this is just kind of giving you an idea of what you can do to make something look more metallic. If you add these kind of highlights in places where there normally wouldn't be a highlight, you're going to get more of a metallic look to whatever you're doing. Just going to make all this down here dark lighten up most of that. That might be too dark of a color right there. That looks better to pull that all the way across. So this, so our black should not, you should really never have a perfect black color. And there, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend using really dark blues and purples. I'm going to use a blue for this. And then we need to brighten this whole thing. So I'm going to pull this up and add a little bit of more of an orange to it. And we need to brighten this up quite a bit. Let's bring this over into the... And then brighten up our other metal color too. Just a tad. He's kind of orange. Let's get rid of this. And this. He's too orange. And we need this darker color down here too. But you can see I'm leaving the medium tone right there because we're probably going to get a highlight off the ground that bounces back up and hits right there. We just need these darker tones here too. Maybe we do. Maybe not quite that much. I don't know. I don't like these colors, so I'm going to use colorize. Wait. Do they have a shift hue? I don't remember if they do. I know you can do colorize partial. Get a little more orange. I'm going to pull down my saturation value just a little bit. I don't know. Whatever. So let's work on the gun a little bit now. We've got our light coming up and hitting it up here on the top. Need a darker color to way darker than that. This might be a little too light. Same with the gun, we can safe to assume that we get some reflections coming up and hitting our barrel. Maybe we got a clip right there. I don't know, I'm kind of making some of this up as I go. Most of it up as I go, actually. Let's give our character some sort of a green background just so we can see how we're doing. Oh, I need a brighter color on this gun up here. Well, I'm struggling with outlines here, but that's not really the point of this. Yeah, this color still needs to be darker. I would not recommend doing the gun perfectly gray either, but let's make this color lighter. That looks better. Well, that doesn't look too bad. I really don't like that orange though. See what we can do about it. Let's make it a teal. I'm gonna do a slight hue shift from green to blue on this. I don't know. I'm still just messing around with stuff. Or that's basically all I'm doing at this point is messing around with stuff. So I would probably switch these to green now that I've lightened that color up. Some of this stuff would be a little too bright with that light color now. These reflection highlights back here, at this point they'll look better as our green color now. Anyways, hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do to draw some sort of a metal tone. You just gotta use those highlights. And there's a lot of things I would change about this, because he looks like a knight, but with a machine gun. um, I would start to add other joints like this. Probably with different tones in them. Take some of the tones from this gun. Or the colors from the gun. Yeah, maybe I'll mess around with this just a little bit more before we go on. Things can start to get pretty messy. But if we keep working at it, we can start to add in some extra details. Yeah, it looks better with these right here. I would probably like to add a little bit more form to this helmet. I don't know, add tubes coming out of there. Yeah, I'd probably keep adding stuff to it to make it look um, more complete, I guess, at this point. It just, instead of just like a knight, it'll start to feel a little bit more maybe robotic, or anyways, I hope that has been useful, and even if it just gave you an idea of what you can do to get tones to look more metallic, you've got to remember the reflection. It's always going to have kind of a darker spot right here and then still reflect up after that darker spot. So that's the secret to getting stuff to look more like metal, is the extra reflection. So thank you guys for watching. I kind of went on for a while on this one, but I think it turned out okay here in the end. So not such a bad character. If you want to, you can check out my Game Maker book in the description. I always have the link down there. And I will talk. Don't forget to like, favorite, and if you haven't subscribed already, that would be awesome if you subscribe to me. So I will talk to you guys later.